It can happen to anybody at any time. Nobody chooses to be a carer and they just never ever have any time to themselves. The carer is the one that is the forgotten person in society. There's over 400,000 young carers in Australia. These carers never get time to look after their own health. They're missing out on being a teenager.
The Coca-Cola Australia Foundation is the philanthropic arm of the Coca-Cola system in Australia. Our mission is to create moments of happiness and optimism for young Australians, focusing on ages 13 to 19.
The Carers Foundation mission is to basically be an advocate for family carers in the community by offering unique preventative wellness programs. We use a lot of mindfulness activities. We teach them a lot about stress management. Can you imagine being a 15-year-old child caring for your mother that's dying of cancer? No, who's going to look after that child? One young lady said to me, I don't even know the last time I was happy. Well, I saw a smile on her face this morning. The biggest thing about what we do out here is the connection that they make with other young people.
Carers don't get much of a respite. By supporting these camps allows these carers to get away, connect and be able to share experiences.
Unless they've been there and they've done that, nobody gets what they're going through. What really took me with the Coca-Cola Australia Foundation was their alignment with our mission and our philosophy with looking after youth in the community.
We want to see more and more and more carers get involved in this program to get away, connect with their peers and be able to share those experiences and stories.
It just fills our heart with joy when we see what they've got to take home with them and what they've got out of it, because it's life-changing.
The more stories they can share, the more problems they can help solve together. That's what we're about.
I'd now like to welcome some of our young carers, Emma, Sarah and Jasmine, and of course wonderful Ronnie, up to say a few words. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. I know there's a lot of thank yous tonight, and I was meant to continue after Michael, but I will continue to do it now. I was going to thank Mike for his unwavering support over the last few years. It's been particularly hard, obviously, establishing a new charity. So thank you, Mike. He's always been there in the background. And unfortunately for him, he thought he had a life sentence when we got married. So this is going on for a long time yet. Also, I want to thank my 4 amazing boys who are scattered around here somewhere tonight. They've made a huge effort to get here tonight, and it's really made it special for us. Damien's come up from Sydney, and our other son from Marracoon, he's a counsellor up there at one of the schools. James come all the way from Brisbane, and Ryan. And Ryan is always there behind the scenes for us, making sure that everything is done. And he's my main sounding board, so he cops it all. Thank you, boys. You guys inspire me to be a better person. Thank you. Finally, I would love to thank our ambassadors, because without them, we have the most amazing team of compassionate and extremely qualified people, and they go above and beyond to ensure that all our carers are thoroughly nurtured, empowered and inspired with our programs. We've only a few here tonight, and we have quite a few, but thank you to Anna and Janelle and Sharon, Gail, Jenna, Maz, Jan and John and Carl for making us look so good with your highly professional branding. So before I start, I would actually like to ask a question to people in the crowd. Does anybody here actually care for a loved one at home? I know we've got a few people here. Hands? Okay. Well, it's a pretty tough gig, isn't it? I mean, it's 24/7, 7 days a week. You don't get paid. You don't have any days off. You don't have any holidays. No superannuation or remuneration at all. I mean, who does that? For others in the room, most of you are probably thinking, well, that doesn't affect me. Why should I care about carers? That's their problem. That's their lot in life. Well, I would just like to inform you that anyone and any one of you at any time can become a carer. Overnight, through illness, through a sports injury, through disability, through cancer, or just through an accident. Just ask Kerry Ann. or any of our special guest carers here tonight. Most of them have tragic circumstances beyond belief. So yes, my name is Ronnie Benbow and I am the founding director of the Carers Foundation, and it is my fault you're here tonight. I would actually like to introduce these beautiful young ladies, Sarah, Jasmine and Emma. And they are our amazing young ambassadors whose photos you've seen everywhere over the last few days. But we'll get back to them later. So I am actually passionate about caring for family carers of all ages, as carers are the forgotten members in the community. I have been a registered nurse and also a carer. I know and understand personally and professionally the unrelenting role of being a carer. I have cared for my husband after a near-fatal accident that left him paralysed from the neck down. One of our sons who's had a medical condition that almost took his life. And both of my ageing parents, one who has passed on. You don't think of yourself as a carer in these situations because you're just looking after your loved one. And I know majority of the carers feel this way. But carers need support. Not only do they save the community over $1 billion a week, that's $64 billion annually, the reality is, without carers, the entire medical system would collapse. And the medical authorities know that. The carers we see are struggling and receive very little support or understanding. It is a documented fact that the carers have the worst physical and mental health in any group in Australia. I know this is true because I receive phone calls every day from carers that are at the end of their tether. They are broken. Carers at breaking point can no longer cope, ready to end their life, particularly from parents with high needs children, dementia carers, mental health carers, just to name a few, every day. The main issue the carers always say, they are exhausted. They have no time to look after themselves, very little support. No one understands what it's like. But the worst thing, they feel hopeless and they can't cope anymore. As a person with medical knowledge and experience, even I found it difficult to navigate. So how do you expect adults with no medical knowledge to cope, especially young children and young teenagers? Well, the fact is they don't. They just keep going until they collapse. It's just not right to go continuously without support. And why should they? The sleep deprivation is overwhelming, on top of the physical and mental exhaustion. There is so much stress and there's not enough support. Family carers, including young carers, are taking their lives every day, even members of their family. But we don't hear about that. Back to our young carers. Did you know that there are actually young carers as young as 8 years old? That's really hard to comprehend. That could be your daughter or your son caring for you or your partner or your sick or disabled child, brother or sister, or their brother or sister. Were you aware that these children even existed doing this? Sometimes they are the sole responsible person in that family, caring for their parents or their siblings. So I would like you just to ponder for a moment. Who cares for these young people? If an adult struggles to care for their loved one, how on earth are these young people meant to cope? The reality is there are over 3 million family carers in Australia, and 400,000 are under the age of 24. Alarmingly, the majority of these kids feel embarrassed and ashamed of what they do because nobody understands. How does that make you feel? I personally am in awe of these young people. They are so special. They inspire me and they are the reason I do what I do. Sarah is only 19 years old. She cares not only for her mother with chronic medical issues and her grandmother, but also her 3 siblings who've all got special needs. Jasmine and Emma are 19. They help care for their mum with a terminal medical condition since they were only 8, for over 10 years, until sadly their mum passed away last year. In between caring, these girls try to juggle study and work. They have very little time to be a normal teenager, let alone have any fun. When these girls first come to our Young Carers program, there are also other young carers attending with similar circumstances. On arrival, they were highly anxious, stressed, some deeply depressed, and like all carers, most were totally exhausted. The thing is, these kids didn't even recognise that in themselves because that was their normal. They didn't even know they were carers. More disturbingly, most of these beautiful young people have attempted to take their own young lives because of their situations, and they could see no hope for the future. Most of the adult carers we see are the same. At our programs, the girls connected and with other young people that were there, and instantly they form a unique bond, and they know that they completely understand each other and their situations for the first time ever. I remember asking Jasmine what her friends thought of her being a carer, and she replied that the first they knew was when Mum passed away because they just don't understand. Their friends don't get it, what it's like to be a carer, if they have any friends. Even their families don't get it. In fact, nobody gets it unless you're in a similar situation. These kids are doing the work that adults should be doing. They have a huge responsibility. However, sometimes there are no other adults. Young carers in particular do not have a choice to be a carer. They just become one. These young girls and other carers in similar situations are the reason why we do what I do and why we are passionate about caring for carers at the Foundation. We can't change their situations at home, but we can give them some support and techniques to cope better when it gets tough, make them feel good about themselves, and provide information and connections when they need it, and hope for their future. Plus a chance to have a bit of fun and normality with other kids their age. That's the least they deserve. These young people and all family carers need to be supported, empowered, acknowledged and understood. That is what we do with our unique programs and where the donations go, directly to the carers. And to date, we've had outstanding results. The Carers Foundation gives real support by real people, and we make a difference to the carers' lives. Even if we can save one young person, one adult, or give them hope and inspiration for their future, it is so worth it. We've already saved many lives, and I know this from the feedback from carers and the letters of gratitude written to me stating it's the first time they've felt fully supported, where they are understood and how it saved their lives. So the Carers Foundation is the only organisation in Australia offering proven interventions that build carer resilience and improve mental health, helping carers sustain their vital role. However, we need your support to get more carers through the programs, to allow them to heal, to feel safe, and to have hope for their future, to help more young people like these lovely ladies up here. And just a reminder, the reason that we are here tonight is to raise awareness and to raise funds so we can continue to care for carers by supporting their physical and mental health. Being a young foundation, there are so many things we need, but we mainly need to raise funds to get a new venue. We need for expanding our program so we can get more carers through. This will be Australia's first Carers Wellbeing and Inspiration Centre that can be available for carers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So carers don't need to be facing a health crisis breakdown before they get help. Currently, there is no centre specifically for carers in Australia, but we intend to change that. On the table, there are cards with our details if you would consider sharing or contributing to the Foundation. All the funds raised go to supporting carers of all ages. The outcomes are real, therapeutic, long-lasting, and save carers' lives. The Carers Foundation has created a healing haven for carers. I'm almost finished. We are so grateful to have such high-profile people here tonight. I want to acknowledge you all. We really appreciate you coming, and thank you for supporting Wayne Grady to support the Foundation. We need to raise awareness for carers. So one last favour. If any of you will be interested in becoming an ambassador for the foundation, please come and see one of us. We need to raise our profile. Thank you for your support, especially Greg, as Michael said, from Ausbrokers, the Ridge Rate Group, other sponsors for the event. Without their support, this event would not have happened. And of course, Wayne, Brian and Dewey. Massive thanks for pulling this together. We're very, very grateful. We were meant to show the video, but that's been done, so I will ask these girls if they would like to say a few words. Thank you.
Attending the Carers Foundation retreats is one of the best experiences that has happened to me and for many other carers who attend the retreats. I personally was able to get help to get my mental health in check so I can continue to care for the family the way that they need. Unfortunately, it's not the same for every young carer though.
The foundation gives carers like us a safe place to go and feel less lonely. Being a carer can sometimes become a lonely job, and as a young carer can feel isolating. After our mum passed away, we wanted to give back to the foundation because it helped us greatly. Being a young carer is such a big issue and it needs to have more attention.
The Carers Foundation Australia has helped us and other young carers significantly. Every retreat gives you a break and time to be a kid again, not just a full-time carer. They helped me throughout my time at university and are one of the contributing reasons for me graduating. So thank you, Ronnie, Michael and the boys and everyone at the Carers Foundation. As a token of our appreciation, we've gotten you some lovely flowers.
Thank you, ladies. Well done. Hands together again. Ronnie and the team, thank you. I think it'll